Good morning and welcome back to Family Farms. First off, I would like to say I am so sorry that we disappeared for the last week and a half or so. We were working really hard to get all of this stuff set up for our party, and I even filmed a video, but then after filming the video we've had some issues with vehicles and whatnot, and it totally threw us for a loop and messed a whole bunch of stuff up. And then it was crunch time, we have to start shopping for food and all of that for the party, and I just didn't get videos out, and I'm sorry. Things just happened, life got in the way, and it was just a lot less stressful on us to put the camera away for a while and focus on doing what we needed to do. But the party was a complete success. It did torrential downpour for an hour, 2 hours, 2 to 1 hour before the party. So that put a little damper on things, but the Lord showed up and he stopped the rain and the sun came out, and we were still able to come out and play. Still able to come out and let the kids play, and all the parents hang out up on the porch and just enjoy ourselves, while the kids just had a fantastic time down here. Anyways, let's kind of go through some of the stuff that we added for the party and talk about some of the things that there's still, okay, one moment, that are still on, still planned, that we're still planning on adding. So let's go through that. Please excuse the dog with the zoomies, but first off, we have our sandbox, which we built last year sometime. But we have our sandbox, and we've added a beautiful little flower, and we built the chalkboard. Then we have this, I think it was called a ninja course or something. We got it on Amazon, but it's this slack line with all of these different attachments. There's a swing, this little triangle handlebar thingy, a little climbing net, this little monkey ball thing that you can hold on to and swing from, a ladder, little monkey bars there. Do not squirt me. But then we have the kiddie pool, a little kiddie picnic table, we have our hammock, and then the climbing dome. Sadly, because of the rain before the party, and the rain last night, this is a little slick, so they weren't really able to climb on it too much. We wiped it down and we did have some climbing happen, but as you can tell, this was probably the star of the party. They just did that for a long time. Good morning, ladies. And then we also added this disc golf hole to our backyard fun zone. So we had this, and some of the husbands played with that, and most of us moms hung out up there. For our party, we actually put our baby gate right here to keep any littles from trying to go down our big staircase here. So that was really helpful. We brought our bench from out front back here. We had a couple extra camp chairs that we added, and then we had all of this. It was absolutely perfect. We also had this set up, but the storm and Miss Zoomy over there took it down for us, so I will let Justin take care of that later. But it could do volleyball, badminton. We also had highlight stuff, as well as it came with a frisbee, and there was ring toss too. So lots of fun stuff. But again, since it had rained, most of us adults hung out up on the deck, or we were inside when we were eating. So it worked out really well. We got to relax and look down over our kiddos just having a blast, which that was the goal. We wanted the kids to be able to get together and have fun and be safe without without any of the parents having to be too overbearing. So it worked out perfect. Quick little update on the wildflower garden. She is coming to life. The rain's kind of pushed some of the blooms together, but we've had lots of bachelor buttons pop up, and if I can find it, one of the cosmos, I believe that's what these are, had a bud on it, but I don't see which one it was. It was somewhere here, and I was like, oh, I'm so excited, I can't wait for that to open soon. And now I've lost it. But we've got some of the world's tiniest zinnia, which, don't hold me to it, that might not be accurate, but they are incredibly tiny compared to my big zinnias over there. But I'm excited to see this. All this rain recently. Oh, there it is. I found it. Oh, look at her. She is so pretty and precious. Oh. And we got this little flower. Yep, I'm excited. All the little zinnias are really starting to push up, and some of the other cosmos are getting a lot of height on them, so that shouldn't be long. Next year, we're totally doing this sooner. Like, I'm gonna add to it sooner, so that way I get blooms earlier. I feel like I've just waited so long for the blooms, and I'm just beyond ready. Now, for our cookout, we did use a lot of our squash and zucchini from the garden. We actually had about 6 between the two of them that we sliced up and smoked on our grill, and they were superb. Oh my goodness, just fantastic. But we've got some nice growth going on. We are struggling a lot with blossom end rot because of the rain, but because things are out here to the elements, that is something that we are struggling with. Like, I mean, this one might, I think that's just on the bottom, and they look great, but it happens after, like, the blossom end rot happens. Oh, that got broke. These storms, y'all, they have been brutal. But the blossom end rot has been starting before the fruit ripens, so by the time I'm noticing the fruit even getting a blush of color, like that, it's already been rotted. So we've lost several tomatoes to that, but I've got lots on here. I just need them to ripen so that way I can get them. But these little cherry tomatoes, oh my gosh, they have been so fantastic. And like I said, these storms have been brutal. All of this stuff recently was just knocked over. Everything. I even had to take a couple of the stakes from here to support the peppers because that wind was just so brutal. It knocked everything over. So I've had to fix the tomato cages several times because of the storms. So next year, we're definitely doing something different. So you need to follow along for that. As I'm kind of here in the garden, I'm noticing that there are some beans that need to be picked. I had left a couple, like, look at this. That is huge. I'd left a couple on the other day because they just weren't quite ready. And then now it's been 2 days, so I've got giant beans. So I'll have to go through and get some of those. Before I go through and harvest, I do want to show you one thing. No, this is not a pumpkin. This is a spaghetti squash. Oh my goodness. Don't take over my tomatoes. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. No. Get out of my tomatoes. Let go of my tomatoes. Go this way. Let go. Oh. Anyways, I totally expected this spaghetti squash to be like my squash, my zucchini and squash. I expected it to be like that. I didn't expect it to be super viney like the cucumber or a pumpkin. But yeah, so learn from my mistake. Spaghetti squash is, think pumpkin. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but yeah. But we do have lots of little fruit coming along. I see at least 3 right here without even hardly looking. So that'll be fun. And then we got some onions here, and it looks like some of these are ready. So they didn't get quite as big as I thought they might get, but I mean, we started them later than what we should for our area, and I just was like, let's see what happens. I'm very happy with what happened. Also, this meadow sage has come back to life. She had a ton of spent blooms on her, and I just hadn't read the little tag on it enough to know that you should cut off the spent blooms so that way she'll continue to produce flowers. Well, after she was all done bloomed out and looking a little rough, I was like, well, let me look and see what's going on. The tag said, keep cutting the blooms and you'll keep getting more. So I gave her a huge haircut. I cut her like way down, like half this height. And all of this new growth has been within the last like week, and there's buds everywhere in here. And then I have these over here too. And don't mind this sweet banana pepper plant. I don't have a stake on her. I ran out, and like I need another thing for this or to add it into that strap, but my peppers are getting a little out of control. And then here's all of this in its glory. The zinnias are doing fantastic. Absolutely huge, and like the plant has just pulled over to the side. So that's been funny. My sunflowers are finally about to open. Well, 2 of them. And then, little surprise here, I've got little ones on the bottom. There's 2 of them. So I'm probably going to cut these 2 and take them inside and let the plant focus on pushing that out. And we got beans, 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 beans. All the beans. Little thing, I've got black beans. Now this isn't enough to actually like have anything a black bean dish, but it was an experiment and I wanted to see what would happen. So my chocolate cherry tomato just taking over the ground here, perfectly fine. 2 of them are staked up. 2 peppers that something loved, and yeah, so just let it be. And last thing, my volunteer cantaloupe and watermelon. Okay, Bubby. My volunteers. So I'll see what happens with this. Like, I literally have given this no love. 0 love. I had put in the lettuce seeds early in the season, like way back. They didn't do anything for a long time, and then out of nowhere they started doing stuff. So we've harvested a little bit of surprise lettuce is what I've been calling it, and just waiting to see what this cantaloupe and this watermelon does, because I mean, why not? Anyways, I hope you've enjoyed this. I'm so sorry about going AWOL on you, but there's a little update of the garden and our backyard, all the fun stuff that's going on. I will get back on track. I promise you that. So keep following along to see how our property progresses. Anyways, have a great day and God bless.